Hey, welcome to RVs Gone Wild. We're here in Revelstoke, British Columbia. Let's get on to the first video.
This video has been making the rounds. It is crazy. No one, it looks like, was hurt in this. Luckily, the trailer became disconnected from the truck before it straight up blew over the edge. This is like a worst nightmare situation. I can't imagine driving in winds so strong that this would happen, but clearly they were, and clearly it did. Wayne C. found this 30-foot Outback attached to an F-150. It's a sad scene on Highway 197 in Northeast Georgia. Wayne says he enjoys the channel. Thanks for submitting this. Bummer for whoever was driving this. Slow down, everybody. Slow down. And Terry L. sent us this, which looks like some kind of accident with the hitch from the looks of it all. Looks like he poked a few holes in his Tahoe there. Make sure after you hitch up to always raise it up a little bit and make sure it's lifting your vehicle to make sure that you are connected to your hitch. When Tim M. found this abandoned at an I-5 rest area, I'm guessing this is in California, he walked over and looked at it and realized it wasn't actually burned there, but it was abandoned there. I'm sure there's a story behind this one. And that leads us to our next burned out RV that we found. This one we found just outside of Kamloops, BC. We were pulling off to an I-Overland sort of unofficial campsite, and we just saw it sitting there. The amazing thing is it looks like it was a fairly large RV from some of the panels, but once you burn out one of those RVs, it's amazing how small the pile becomes once the bulldozers step in and make a pile out of it. This is rural BC, so I'm sure it's going to take a little while to get somebody out there to clean that up. Thomas S., he spotted this homemade high-top camper. It's a van with using an upside-down boat as the topper. I guess boat's pretty waterproof. They saw this vehicle at the Mammoth Hot Springs in Yellowstone's National Park. They love the tiny mini-me version in the cab. Yeah, it's nice, that little model they got in the front. And guess what? Pat M. also spotted this very same vehicle. They sent us some photos. And Clint C. spotted it as well. I want to thank the whole RVing with Joe Nation. You folks out there are the reason I can get so many cool pictures and videos. The fact that so many of you saw this same car and made sure to send me pictures and take pictures, or maybe you grabbed them off the internet. Either way, I love that you think of me. Thanks for sending them in. And get your cameras out and keep taking them photos, folks. Amelia from Colorado, she saw this at the Home Depot at Fort Collins. She thought I'd like to see it. And of course I do. That is an excellent, excellent version of a crazy homemade RV. I don't know what those people were thinking. I don't know how that suspension can handle that much wood. Let me guess. Airbags. Airbag solves everything. Here's another homemade cabin on the back of a truck. Spotted this picture. Thought it belonged here. I don't know if we'll ever get enough of this one. Brian R. sent it in. Last week we had multiple people sending in pictures of this one. It's really making the rounds on the internet, so I'll just show it again. Thanks again, Brian, for sending this in. And Chris from the Coa in Vegas sent us another cool one. He writes, it's quite the off-road capable vehicle. He can't imagine what it cost to ship this here to travel because it came over from Europe, it appears. I'll tell you, whatever it cost to ship it here, it costs a lot more to drive it around the U.S. That thing probably gets 1 mile to the gallon. Kent P., he spotted this Overlander in Jefferson City. Another one from Europe. Those Europeans are invading us with their military-style RVs. You know, you can also drive your American car around Europe if you want to ship it over there. Turns out both places respect each other's license plates. Who knew? And Wes from the Netherlands, he wanted to show off his European Volvo bus that he had in Canada and the US. He actually writes what I was talking about. He said there's no problem coming to Canada with European plates. You have to get Canadian or US insurance for the time you're traveling over there. They did the same with this 1991 converted off-grid Volvo bus. They drove from Halifax to British Columbia. Took about 5 months. And then they went south to the Galveston Harbor, Texas, USA, and shipped the bus back to Europe. He called out that as they drove around Canada, everyone was really nice and always asking about Holland. Yeah, Canadians are pretty nice. It's one of the reasons I moved up here. Christina B. sent us this cute little hippie RV she saw in Casper, Wyoming. Definitely cute. Clint C. spotted this little RV, he calls it. I'd say it's pretty big. It's actually a camper shell sitting on the back of a flatbed truck. I guess that works. Just want to make sure it's tied down. And Craig B sent us this. I think he saw it on YouTube. And to be honest, I think I've shown this one before, but it's such a crazy rig. Why not show it again?
This RV truck camper that is completely made out of diamond plate. This looks like this was all done kind of a homemade type deal, but extremely impressive nonetheless. Looks like he's got a whole camper all made out of diamond plate and a little slide out that he has out right now at Costco. That is on a Ford F550. So it looks like it can handle the weight, but wow.
You know, there's more and more RV videos showing up on YouTube. Craig B sent in a couple of links. One of them is the 10 worst RVs and motorhomes in U.S. history. And the other one is RVs like anything I've ever seen. There'll be links to both of these in the description.
Ray Frank, who also founded the Travco Motorhome, started Explorer Motorhomes in 1967 with a vision to create motorhomes that could fit into a standard garage while still offering enough room to stand up inside. The design of the Explorer was quite innovative. It involved removing the roof and back walls of the Winnebago F-17 holds a significant place in RV history as the first recreational vehicle ever mass-produced by the American company Winnebago. Introduced in 1966, the F-17 was built on a Ford F-350 chassis, complete with its running gear and drivetrain. Winnebago took pride in designing a unique body for the F-17.
Dave H caught this at a local event here at Langley at the Langley Car Show. I think this thing's made more for parades than taking out camping, but it's beautiful. And Dave, while you're in Langley, I hope you got some In-N-Out burger. So one day a year, they bring the In-N-Out truck up to Canada, and you can get In-N-Out burgers for one day only. All for charity. Jim S said they have this cabin on the go. They couldn't decide whether to build a cabin, so they decided to just take it with them. They travel the East Coast riding their ATV, side-by-sides, and motorcycles, but it's their gold prospector cabin most of the time. They said they find just enough gold to pay for gas, not food. That's amazing. All I've gotten is a few flakes of gold out of the river so far, so good job. And John and Joyce are back. They also sent us this showing a homemade wooden camper top in Jackson, Wyoming. Yet another camper. Kelvin's still digging the show, he says, and he sent us this 1941 Western Flyer motorhome. They don't make them like that anymore, do they? And it's time for turducken. You guys know what turducken means. Turducken's where you take a turkey and inside it you cook a duck and inside it you cook a chicken, and it's a great meal and it's a terrible way to tow. Let's take a look at some crazy ones right here. We'll start with Tim W. with his wiggly waggly turducken he found. It's got a boat, he's got a golf cart, he's got a regular pull trailer, an Airstream no less, and a truck. And you can see this whole thing is wiggling out of control. You can see that the trailer is sort of bouncing forward and back. Like, it's not built to be in the middle of this much weight. This is dangerous. I'm not against somebody double towing in a legal, safe way, but this is dangerous. Thanks for sending it in. All right, and speaking of unsafe turduckens, Brian J sent us this. He calls it redneck turducken. This is just not cool. I mean, it's one thing if you're going across town, but I would not take this at a high speed. Be careful out there, folks. When you watch my videos, definitely take them as great examples of what not to do. And David and Gamble. What a cool name, Gamble. David and Gamble sent this to us. They said they love the channel and want me to keep up the good work. And they wanted to share with us their boondocking toys, a 92 F-350, a 97 Jayco Hawk, and an 06 Rhino. They said it tows nicely, but they've definitely maxed out their payload. They said it still stops on a dime. And that goes to tell you, it doesn't matter what your truck can pull, it matters what your truck can stop. And that's why you have gross combined weight ratings. And some people have criticized me lately for calling things like this turducken. But when you're stuffing wheels inside wheels and then towing wheels, it's turducken. It doesn't have to be a double trailer. I just like to see a whole lot of wheels. My channel, my rules. Eric S. here, he writes, he enjoys our show immensely. Thank you very much for watching. And here's a righteous example of turducken spotted in a Micro Pro parking lot. It's in West Michigan, I guess. Camped there for a couple of days. Thanks again, Eric, from Muskegon, Michigan. Did I say that right? Muskegon? And Freedom GD10, he saw this poor guy broke down on the side of the road near Carbondale, Colorado. That is a crazy custom rig. I'm guessing that's a trailer that's attached. It looks really close to the truck. At least he's got that generator. It looks like he's going to be there for a while. Thanks to Ray and Bonnie Q for sending this in. He saw this on I-66 in Gainesville, Virginia. All right, Pat M sent us in a bunch of pics. This is gorgeous. His homemade toter home with his teeter-totter trailer, he calls it. They built this entire rig in 2018 prior to its maiden voyage to Alaska. Approximately 70,000 miles on it since they've been traveling around the U.S. They live half the year in northwest Montana, and they travel the other 6 months. But they're not alone. They wanted to include some of their other heavy-duty tow friends they travel with. He says his bride and him enjoy the videos, and I really appreciate you guys sent this in. I always say get out there and get busy living. Looks like you guys are ahead of the curve on that one. Thanks. And I like this little ATV turducken. You got Mama ATV, Daddy ATV, and Baby ATV. The family that off-roads together stays together. Alberta was just filled with turduckens. A good friend of mine, Amber Kay, she actually took this photo in Hinton, Alberta. It's snowmobile turducken. Renee M spotted these turduckens on some webpage, saved out the file, thought of us. Renee enjoys RVs Gone Wild, and we enjoy you folks sending in these pictures. Thanks for sending these in, and if you have cool pictures or videos, you can always send them to RVingWithJoe@gmail.com. I really love it when everyone sends them in. I can't use everybody's, but I try to use them all, and I definitely read them all. Ryan D spotted this turducken at the Walmart in McCook, Nebraska. Terry M wanted to send us this. He said it was a little overweight and a little overloaded, I admit, but it's also quite a great example of turducken. An example of what not to do. There's no way that truck is rated for that load. And speaking of very old cars, we got this custom one sent to us from Ken H. Built on a 1958 Pontiac with a rare Hitchhiker camper. He said it looks like a Porta-Potty on wheels. I'll be honest, the fact that my trailer has a toilet is probably one of the top 3 reasons I tow it behind me. I don't like using public toilets. Ew. Kevin S sent us a few different pictures. First, this old RV that he found in Morgan Hill, California. He thought it was cool. Then the other picture of his rig. He just finished a 14,020 state 4-month road trip. Picked up a rescue French bulldog in Missouri along the way. That's sweet. If you're thinking of getting a dog, please think about rescuing a dog and not getting one from a breeder. You can even find rescue organizations that specialize in the breed you're interested in. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for the pictures, and thanks for rescuing the bulldog. If you send me his picture to RVingWithJoe@gmail, I'll put it in RVing with Pets. Mark B sent this crazy RV pic. He saw our channel and thought we might like this true Alaskan RV. He found it in North Pole, which is a town in Alaska, I believe. I'm sure this thing has seen some serious snow. Thanks for sending it our way. That's one funky ride. Pat M said this is the first airport food service truck that he's seen outside the west entrance of Glacier National Park. I've seen some that are built on hydraulics so that they can actually lift it up and get off the ground with their RV, which makes for a great view and keeps the bears away. I wonder if that one still lifts. Sam S sent us this pic straight out of the Road Warrior. Good God. It looks cool though. Now this isn't an RV, but it's just ridiculous. Apparently they put this large generator on the back to fuel the air conditioner that's sticking out the side. Again, I hope this is a show car. This should not be driving down the road. PMC sent us this really crazy RV. He said maybe it's heading to Slab City. I think this thing's heading to Burning Man. And hopefully they put it on a trailer to get it there. And even then, if you put this on a trailer, how are you going to get this under overpasses? Ariel sent us this pic. Yeah, I think I've seen this before, and I'm pretty sure I've included this in the channel in one of my earlier ones. But not this picture with all the people on it. This will be great at the racetrack, right? This was spotted in Washington. Apparently the driver is 62. It's his grandfather's taxi from Argentina. He was traveling from Argentina to Alaska. Between their English and their Spanish, they kind of figured out the story here using Google Translate.
Yo vengo viajando hace 13 años ya y hago un voluntariado totalmente gratis que levanto las tortugas, los huevos de las tortugas de mar. Es lo que vengo haciendo.
I have been traveling for 13 years now, and I do volunteer work completely free of charge. I pick up the turtles and the sea turtle eggs and put them in the nest in the corral, and then we release them onto the beach. That's what I've been doing.
I spotted this sign in Hinton, Alberta, and I thought, don't you wish we would see more of these signs? There were so many businesses and stores that were welcoming RVs parking overnight in that town. Alberta truly is a different place. And while I was in Alberta, we had a wonderful night where we got to see the Northern Lights in all their glory. A good friend of ours, a photographer, Dieter Gossman, he actually took this photo, which I'll put a link to his Instagram in the description. Thanks again, Dieter, for taking that photo. It's one of the coolest photos of my trailer so far. And that was a real special night. Why was I in Alberta? I was there at the Alberta Overland Adventure Expo, which is a 3-day event where you get to camp there and check out all the overland rigs. Over the next couple of RVs Gone Wild, I'll be showing you some of the rigs from there, like this awesome all-electric Hummer. Perfect. Go ahead and tow with it, take it off-road, have fun with it. This badass Ford that I saw driving around the event, to me, this E450 represents the perfect tow vehicle, what I would like to have. The flatbed, the 4-wheel drive, the dually in the back. This thing can go anywhere, it can handle anything. And that's why I'm giving this beautiful Ford truck the Ford Tip of the Hat Gold Star Award from RVing with Joe. And thanks to the owner, he even moved all the chairs out of the way and everything. He liked showing off his truck, and I liked looking at it. We were heading out to the Overland Festival. I saw this trailer parked. I wanted to pull over and just get some photos of it. I toured a very similar Arcto trailer while I was at the Overland Expo. You'll see that video coming up. Make sure you subscribe so you can see that video when it comes out. When I was at Lake Abraham camping, I saw this really nice bus. It was clearly had some beefy tires. It was ready to take on the Alberta roads. And out by Wild Horse Lake, Alberta, we saw this old crispy critter just cruising along real slow. Just shows you can take any RV off-roading if you're in Alberta. You don't really have a choice. There's a lot of dirt roads up there. And here's one I wouldn't take off-road. I saw this one in Alberta. It was a full Class A with an even taller trailer. I'm guessing there's a race car or something in that trailer. I didn't get a chance to talk to them, but I wanted to get this shot. Here's another one I saw in Alberta, and this is a converted fifth wheel. This person took out their welding torch and turned this fifth wheel into a pull trailer. I'd like to drive behind this one and see what kind of wiggle it has, but it looked pretty stable to me. Good job to this guy for setting it up. When I was near Banff, I ran across this fellow who's actually French, and he's been living between Canada, Mexico, and the US, bouncing between travel visas. And I couldn't believe the amount of workout gear that this guy kept in his van. And he had a partner there too, so they had to make room for her and all this equipment. He says it fit in the back like Tetris. I was watching him pack it up. Apparently it all fits. This guy's staying healthy. You know, people always complain that, is this vehicle really good enough to tow? Well, I found the ultimate tow vehicle pulling a trailer. That's right. You can't say this guy's not rated to tow. And in case you didn't know, you can always call a tow truck to tow your trailer, fifth wheel or not. They're generally equipped to handle it all. And sometimes your truck is down, your trailer's got to move, you just call a tow truck. Another one I saw at the expo was this military-style truck. I did get a few shots of the inside, but it wasn't too pretty. The inside was pretty much just all, wood and 2x4s. But it worked well for this guy. And the cool thing about it is it has so many tires. I was talking about how many spares he carries, and he just carries one, but he said really he's got 5 spares. With his dual axle dualies, he can lose 1 or 2 tires on there and just keep driving. Hadn't thought about that. That's some built-in redundancy. And check out this off-road beast that we found online. Got a couple of pictures. I saw a few of these at the Alberta Overland Expo recently. And the whole reason I went to that expo was to visit all of my Ember friends. A lot of us Ember owners to become friends, and we like to gather together and made this the official Western gathering of Ember owners at the Alberta Overland Adventure Expo. And we'll be there next year. We saw this one in Vancouver. It's basically a converted ambulance, but it's sitting on a chassis of a really nice F450. It's got some great tires. Another one meant for off-roading. Chris is a brave man. He's actually moving into this StarCraft camper full time. That's right. He's going to start at the Grand Canyon, and he is going to live in this thing full time. Make sure you stay in some warmer weather with those canvas sides. And good luck to you, Chris. And good old Chris Spencer, he sent us a handful. He is the manager at Las Vegas KOA in Samstown. So he sees a lot of RVs come through, and he sees some of the coolest RVs come through. Chris, thanks again. And I swear we're going to get to Vegas one of these days and say hi. And we've got Michael and Sue from Albuquerque. They write that they watch our channel all the time and they enjoy watching the cool rigs and also the strange ones that we show. This is their 2001 E350 4x4. It took them about 7 years to build out this home build. It's got 200 watt solar, a pop-up diesel heater, microwave, induction stove, classic van life machine, only really built for off-road, which I like. I really like the footprint of these vans being off-roaders. Fairly short wheelbase. It can really hit the back roads of British Columbia if it was here. But you say New Mexico, what's up with that front plate? Comment below, let us know. Is a new subscriber. Thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. He just ran across our channel. He enjoys the content, looks forward to checking out some more of the videos. He just returned to RVing after a 14-year break. He used to have 27 and 30-foot travel trailers, but this time he's going small. I know the feeling. I've gone down from 28 feet all the way down to 20 feet, but I think you took it just a little smaller on this one. Good job. Tim R., who is at 4x4tent.com. He's actually made his own website. You can check out more about him there. It's a 1998 Ford Econoline E250 5.4 liter gas sportsmobile U-joint 4x4. Again, these 4x4 vans got a soft spot for him. Of course, there's my favorite 4x4 van lifer, Foresty Forest.
Foresty Forest, he lives in a van. Foresty Forest.
Make sure you check out his channel. I'll link it below. And we got a different Tim R. This time he has his first Class A. He just subscribed to the channel and wanted to share a picture with us. Boy, the Class A, that's sort of the end game in RVing, huh? You start with a pop-up and you work your way up to Class A. Maybe one day, although I'm always concerned about the crashworthiness of some of those. Some are built like buses, really secure. Some are basically wooden homes just sitting on top of a chassis. Thanks to everybody for watching another episode. I've got a whole lot of travel videos coming up. We're falling really behind on our editing. I've got multiple trips that I have not put out. Alberta, gold panning, went up to really, really high, crazy roads. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I've got all kinds of videos out there, and I'll be redoing all the playlists soon, making it easier to find the videos that you want to see. And to everyone out there, thanks for watching another episode of RVs Gone Wild. See you soon.